there's only one thing standing between you and the ivy-coated walls of the school you want to get into. The security guards. No, the admissions officers. It doesn't matter how much work you put in, you know, how many extracurriculars you took, how many straight A's you got. If they say no, you're not getting into that Ivy. So in this video, we are going to dive deep into the mind of the admissions officers to see what it is they're looking for. This next part is what I call the holy trinity of college admissions, right? So cover these three bases and your app will shine like the heavenly excellence it is. So 3 things. Essentially, admissions officers want to see students who, 1, are going to contribute positively to their fellow students, 2, are going to be able to succeed and thrive in the college environment, and 3, after they've graduated, are going to put their mark on the world. Just like, well-trained labradoodles. Except very, very different. So let's go through all these 3 in a little more detail. First one, contribute positively to your fellow classmates. What I mean when I say that is that admissions officers want students who show they're caring, who show they're positive and encouraging, right? They don't want students who are so competitive that they're just gonna crush their classmates on the way to success. And then speaking of success, that second point, you know, being able to thrive at the college, admissions officers want to see that you can handle the heavy workload, right? And that not only will you be able to handle it, but that outside the class, in the extracurriculars, you'll be able to really take advantage of the resources that they have available. And lastly, you know, every college wants alumni they're proud of, right? So they're gonna look for those type of students who they think after they graduate might just have that special something that succeeds in the real world. So how do they figure out if you have all of these 3 traits? Well, usually the best predictor of future success is looking at past success. That's why they'll look at your grades, your test scores, your essays, your extracurriculars, you know, that's why they look at all those things. So you need to make sure that whatever you share with these Ivies, it's basically saying, I am capable, I will be an asset to this community, and I will be someone when I leave this place. But not like in a cocky way, like in a confident way. All right, we're not getting sassy over here. We're just getting into the Ivies. But it's important to note that the Ivies are taking your specific high school location and opportunities into account, you know, when judging your application. So they're not necessarily pitting kids from the Upper East Side against kids from rural Kyrgyzstan, right? That's just not happening. Yes, everybody needs to reach a certain level of excellence, but for the most part, and in the very beginning, they just want to know, are you a standout member in your own community? Are you succeeding and stretching yourself with the opportunities available to you? If the competition at your schools is fierce, then competition for the Ivies will probably be fierce. If competition at your school isn't fierce, then competition at the Ivies will be a lot easier. So these are some of the main things admissions officers will be focused on when looking at your app, right? But the thing you need to remember is that they're repeating this process for literally tens of thousands of students. It's important to realize that that case of carpal tunnel and mild PTSD you developed while writing your essays, yeah, the admissions officers don't care that much about it, right? They're basically spending 15 to 20 minutes flipping through one of these apps. Now, most Ivies do have procedures in place to read over the applications 2 times, but that is a very, very minimal amount of time they spend reading it compared to how long you spent crafting it. So you need to craft it with that in mind, because otherwise they won't recognize your application for the masterpiece it is. So what gives Picasso, you know? How do you stand out amongst the sea of high-achieving high schoolers? Well, that's what we're about to talk about in the next video, Jack of all trades versus master of one. And that, my friends, is a cliffhanger.